All right, I purposely put these four problems together so you can kind of see the difference between each of these in terms of which ones are independent, which ones are dependent. So for this one here, we want to know what's the probability that you pull out a can of regular and then a can of diet. So the regular is, we have 12 out of 27. But think about it. You pulled out the regular and you put it off to the side. You don't have 27 cans anymore. So the next probability is going to be out of a total of 26 cans. And then diet, you still have all 15 cans of diet. So again, this is regular, and diet. I multiply those, I reduce, I get fun numbers, I get 10 over 39. Now, this one's different. This is two diets in a row. So let's go back to the beginning. Diet, we have what, 15 out of 27? But think about it. You took one out, but it was a diet one that you took out. So you only have 14 more diets, and you only have 26 more cans. So the probability that this happens and this happens is multiplication, and you do some reducing and some fun, and you get this as your answer. So let's look at here. What's the probability of 3 cans of diet in a row? So this is your 1, this is your 2, and then the third would be, think about it, you now have 2 fewer, so there's only 13 diets, and there are only 25 actual cans. So we're going to do all of our multiplication, figure out what our answer is, and be done. Now, this one is different because it says you put it back. So it's like you reach in there, you grab a regular, and you're like, dang it, I didn't want a regular. But this was the chances that I got that regular. If I put it back, I have all 27 cans now to choose from, and then my Diet Cola was my 15. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply those together as well and get my answer. So this, because I put it back, is my independent. All of these, because each thing that happens changes the next probability, are considered dependent. All right, let's go ahead and look at 10. So these three are all almost the same in terms of the idea. We still have two situations that are happening. We have the backup or not that we're going to call, and then if we call or not, we're either going to catch him or not and catch him or not. So our first thing is, who do you call? And the next one is, do you actually catch him or not? So let's see. If he doesn't call for backup, he has a, if he does call for backup, he has a pretty high chance of catching him, which means a relatively low chance of not. If he doesn't, he has a much smaller chance of catching him, which means a much higher chance of not catching him. And then, listen carefully, it says if the probability that he calls for backup and does not catch the suspect is actually 12%, which means the probability of calling and not catching is 12%. Remember, and means multiply, so this times this has to equal 12%. That would make this 60%. You can guess and check, or you can realize that this times this equals this, so this divided by that, undoing it, is equal to this. And then we want to know what is the probability that he doesn't call for backup, so 60% chance that he does, which means 40% chance that he does not call. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at 11. 11 can look very much like what you did here. That you have tornadoes happening or not happening in two different cities. So you can have like Oklahoma, Nebraska, and then what are the chances, what are the chances. The reality is though, we just want to find and know what is the probability that it's not and not. That's really all we want. And on these probabilities, like yes and yes was just multiply, or no and no was just multiply, and that's all you actually did. So let's look at simplifying this, that we're talking about what we want not and not, so this would be what, 80% chance, because there's a 20% of, so 80% chance of not. This is 60% chance of, so we want 40% chance not. So I multiply them together, and I get my 32% chance. So again, if it was talking about that one of them gets hit, I would have to have like yes, no, or no, yes, and then kind of have to deal with both of them, which would have been like, I'm doing this and finding these little values here. But this one I just want no, 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 so that's all I need to do.